The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hello and welcome to this Futuresource webinar. Thank you for joining us, and we are now ready to begin. I will hand you over to my colleague Jack Wetherill, who's our Senior Market Analyst for Home Electronics, and he'll introduce the proceedings.
Thanks, Andy. Hello and welcome to the second of our three-part webinar series at CES on day 3 of the CES show. I'm Jack Wetherill and I'm joined here in Las Vegas by Razika Iyer. We chose 3 topics for our webinar series: 4K, home audio and wearable tech. And based on our time in Vegas so far, it's clear that these are the 3 hottest areas at CES 2014 in terms of volume products announced, vendor and media attention, and where we are seeing the most significant innovations. Today's webinar is focused, of course, on home audio. We'll provide you with our key takeaways from the show and explain the recent market trends in home audio. Much of what we're presenting today comes hot off the heels of the press events we've attended over the past few days and walking the exhibition floor asking difficult questions on the booths. As you may know, Futuresource is a specialist research and consulting company with a history stretching back to the 1980s. We provide our clients with global market analysis and insights in consumer and professional electronics, digital imaging, entertainment media, broadcast, content and storage, and we operate on a global scale. We've a dedicated consumer electronics team which covers the worldwide market for all major home and personal CE categories. We forecast nearly 30 individual product areas across 30 countries, across every major geographic region. In addition to detailed market data and forecasts, we provide strategic updates on relevant market segments, such as the topics covered by this webinar series. Now, before we delve into the detail, a little bit of housekeeping. Your phones have been muted, and as we're condensing this session down to just 20 minutes, we won't have time for questions. But we are recording it, and we'll make it available to you next week. We can also take any questions that you have offline and follow up with you later if you wish to learn more. Also, if you're at CES, we'd also be happy to try and arrange a short meeting with one of our analysts. Right, on to the key home audio messages from CES. The top-line feedback about what's hot in home audio on the CES show floor is as follows. Wireless speakers are everywhere, suiting every price point and application. Bluetooth abounds. Wi-Fi is much less prominent and less part of multi-room audio systems. Speaker bars continue to have a high profile, also featuring Bluetooth. Before we go into further detail on these products, it's worth reflecting on the global market trends for key home audio products. In our Global Home Audio report published in November, Futuresource reassessed the global market for home audio product categories of wireless speakers, soundbars, AV receivers, integrated audio systems, and dedicated speaker docks. In total, an estimated 59.8 million units shipped in 2013, up 11% on 2012. However, there are winners and losers in this battle for consumer spend in home audio. The relatively new categories of wireless speakers and soundbars continue to grow, up 181% and 87% respectively, whilst AV receivers, integrated audio systems and dedicated speaker docks all fell in terms of shipments last year. Whilst AV receivers remain stubbornly resistant to swift decline, these relatively expensive and sophisticated products' appeal is limited mainly to audiophiles, whilst integrated audio systems are in long-term decline due to the falling requirement for packaged CDs. Docks, meanwhile, have suffered as a result of the decision by Apple in 2012 to change the pin connector, resulting in a consumer migration to wireless speakers. Soundbars, meanwhile, are enjoying success as a result of the simplicity of this solution to the problem created by the relatively poor speakers in flat panel TV sets. So, this webinar will focus on the growth areas of wireless speakers and soundbars. Before going on to wireless speakers, we should point out the growth in sales of these same audio products, but with wireless features. Shipments doubled in 2013 to 27.4 million, and over 90% of AV receivers, soundbars, integrated audio systems, wireless speakers and docks that sell in 2017 will be equipped with Bluetooth or Wi-Fi. This demand for audio streaming is driven by several factors. The growing use of music streaming services such as Pandora, Deezer, Spotify. Consumers like the convenience and low cost of these sites, which are consequently amassing millions of users. And consumers are spending less on packaged audio, down 16% in 2013, preferring to divert their spend to digital, either subscription or pay per download. People are using their smartphones as music devices and want to play their music out to headphones or, increasingly now, loudspeakers. According to Futuresource's Living with Digital Consumer Research, 57% of smartphone owners in Western Europe and the US listen to music on their phones. Smartphone ownership is now significant in every country and still growing, although this does vary from one country to the next. As these ownership levels grow, and as a result the numbers of music streaming consumers grows, the demand for wireless speakers will skyrocket. So, over to you, Razka, who will tell you about wireless speakers and soundbars.
Thank you, Jack. 2013 has witnessed a dramatic transition away from dedicated docks to wireless speakers. Wireless speakers have outstripped all forecasts in 2013, and the potential for streaming from smartphones has been unlocked. Wireless speakers are forecast to have shipped more than 13 million units globally in 2013. US is the largest market, primarily driven by smartphone penetration at 84%, and the market is forecast to have accounted for 57% of global shipments and is estimated to have shipped approximately 8.3 million wireless speakers in 2013. This indicated a growth of 168% over 2012. Now, the smartphone market is growing rapidly in developing countries as well, and Futuresource believes that these provide huge opportunities for growth of wireless speakers. The pie chart on the right indicates that emerging markets are expected to account for 40% of wireless speaker shipments by 2017. Now let's take a look at this slide. It basically shows the product mix of wireless speakers pre-CES. The wireless speaker market in the US is concentrated in the $100 to $199 price band, which is estimated to account for 50% of overall shipments in 2013. Popular brands in this price category include JBL, Jawbone, Bose, Sonos, Beats, Sony, iHome, etc. Bose and Sonos dominate the over $200 price category, and Sonos has owned the multi-room audio space in 2013. However, there have been recent introductions in Q4 2013 from Bose and Samsung, which have been competitively priced as well. Let's take a look at the wireless speakers that have been demonstrated at CES this year. CES demonstrated a wider than ever before range of Bluetooth speakers in the sub $100 range. These speakers are bright and colorful with portability as a key functionality. Brands have also launched splash-proof products that can be used at the beach or any outdoor venue, or even while biking or doing other activities. On the other hand, many brands showcased multi-room audio solutions with the objective of locking consumers into a brand ecosystem. Some of the key CE vendors plan to introduce attractive multi-room solutions in 2014. Panasonic will launch it using the AllPlay platform, which has been developed by Qualcomm. Samsung and LG have their own platforms through which to control the wireless systems. Philips has, on the other hand, kept it simple, where all its speakers can be simply controlled through a smartphone app. Some of the big content partners for wireless multi-room audio include Rhapsody, Pandora, Amazon, TuneIn, and Deezer. It is fair to say that the wireless speaker market will experience some polarization in 2014, whereby the sub $100 category and the higher end multi-room audio category will gain share. Not much has been observed in the Wi-Fi only space so far, with the exception of a few models. So what we have seen at CES tends to support Futuresource's assumptions that Bluetooth will continue to be the dominant technology in 2014, accounting for more than 75% of wireless speaker shipments. Another important point to note is that dedicated audio brands own 57% of this market. However, CE brands have started entering the wireless audio space and have begun to offer quality products in wireless audio. Finally, it is hard to ignore the number of small brands and trade brands that will offer cheap Bluetooth speakers. CES clearly demonstrated this. There are products beginning at $10 that will soon be available in the market. These were a few snippets about wireless speakers. Now let's move on to another hot product in audio, soundbars. As Jack mentioned earlier, this market is showing tremendous growth globally. US is the biggest market, and it has always been the focal point for all home theater products, namely home theater in a box, AV receivers, and soundbars. Futuresource forecasts suggest that in 2013, the US market accounted for 35% of global home theater device shipments. The US is estimated to have shipped 3.8 million speaker bars in 2013, accounting for 52% of global shipments. This has, however, been at the cost of home theater in a box, which declined by 18% in 2013. Speaker bars proved to be an ideal living room solution to complement sound quality of TV sets. US consumers tend to like large screen TVs, and as the trend towards purchase of larger screen sets continue, consumers will increasingly seek better sound solutions. By 2013, large screen TVs that are 45 inches and above will account for 45% of the TV market in the US, and this definitely will pose a big opportunity for the soundbar market. Let's look at the price segmentation for speaker bars on the next slide. This is the price segmentation for the US market only. The $100 to $249 price point has been the most popular category for speaker bar sales, accounting for 55% of overall volumes. All the major brands have SKUs in this category. The market is dominated by TV brands, and if you notice, these brands have soundbars at almost all major price points, thereby offering solutions to suit consumer wallets of different sizes. Dedicated audio brands are more commonly in the higher price categories. We can also expect many B and C brands to be seen in this market. There are already some models that exist in the market, and many more were unveiled at CES 2014. These brands are driving the average prices down, as we have seen models starting at $80 onwards. Let me show you some of the models of soundbars shown at CES and some key highlights. The most important highlight of the soundbar market is that many of the CE vendors, namely Panasonic, LG, Samsung, and Philips, have all launched models in designs which are similar to Bose Solo. Some call it sound plate, some call it sound base, and some call it sound stand. These soundbars are expected to support up to 55-inch TV sets. Another important trend that we observed at CES is that most soundbars come featured with Bluetooth, and discussions with vendors at CES suggested that even many entry-level models now feature Bluetooth as a basic feature. This is increasingly being used by brands to position soundbars as wireless speakers. And finally, a multi-room system with multi-room speakers and multi-room soundbars to create the ultimate audio experience. This was showcased at the CES in the Samsung booth. These were some of the key highlights at CES 2014 from an audio perspective. To summarize, the key takeaways from the show are: wireless speakers are more than compensating for the decline in docking products. There has been a lack of Wi-Fi only speakers, with the exception of those used in multi-room audio. We expect that there will be polarization of the wireless speaker market. Speaker bars feature Bluetooth and will soon be an integral part of the multi-room ecosystem. There is a clear move towards digital music, especially streaming music from subscription services. And finally, many more products and brands will enter the audio space at entry level in 2014, thereby driving prices down. All in all, the audio space is a good one to be in right now, with plenty of room for growth. Well, that completes this webinar on home audio. Thanks for tuning in. If you have any questions, please feel free to email me or Jack, and we'd be glad to get back to you. We will be running another webinar tomorrow on wearable technology at the same time. Well, thanks for listening and have a great day.